Okay, it is time to configure our PCs. Now remember, we said that the last available IP address was for the default gateway. Then we used 253 for the switch, and the switch's gateway is 254. But for the end devices, we start by 1. And that's just my own little LAS standard that I like to do. All right, so we're going to go to PC0. We click on it, and we go to the desktop tab. And then under IP configuration, and I hope you can see that. Let me put it this way. All right. Whoa, what happened there? Magic trick. Here we go. We're going to do 192.168.1.1 tab, default mask for a Class C. And then the gateway, because we have a router, 192.168.1.254. Now, we are going to have a DNS server. That'll be the last device we configure. So we're going to put an IP address for DNS server. So our DNS server is going to be 192.168.1.3. That's going to be our DNS server. And I'm going to configure some stuff there and you'll see. Just a little basic stuff so you can see how that works. And then we close that. Because the packet tracer automatically, once you put in information, it memorizes it. So go into the second PC, desktop tab, IP configuration, 192.168.1.2. Tab, default gateway, which is the same thing, 1.254, and then the same DNS server, which is 3. 192, can you see that? I'm sorry. Let me put this way. 192.168.1.3. So we got the 1.1 for the first PC, and a 1.3, a 1.254 is the gateway, and a 1.3 for the DNS server. The gateway was the same for both, which is 1.254. So let's check for connectivity, but we're going to do it a special way. We're going to do it a special way. So I'm going to move this whole thing right here. I'm going to do a lasso and loop, and I'm going to move it this way. Well, you know what? I'm going to leave it right here. What I want to do is, remember I told you about those special envelopes and how you can see the packet flow information? I'm going to go to simulation mode, and I'm going to select the simple PDU, which is the closed envelope. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to click on PC0, and then I'm going to click on PC1. If I can get my mouse over there. There we go. Right? So what's going to happen? You see, look, there's 2 envelopes there. And what are they? If you look, if you expand this panel right here, if you expand it, you can see it says ICMP and ARP. ICMP and ARP. So the first thing that happens will be an ARP and then the ICMP. So let's take a look at what actually happens when you have a switch, a router, and really you're not going to go all the way to the router because you're in the same network, so it should just go right here. So but let's see what happens. So you press right here. Let me go over here where it says auto capture and play. You click, boom. What's coming down? ARP. Take a look at it. ARP. Now you see it went to both places because it floods the network both ways. But you see it X'd out right there. And then the ARP comes back to the PC. And now if you look here, the ping is next. And there we have a ping. And it goes to the PC. So isn't that great? You can see the packet flow as it goes, and then the ping goes back, which is the reply. And then to delete it, you select here, and then delete. And then always remember, go back to real-time mode and play with this. This is something, it's a pretty neat tool to look at flow. Now, why did it X out here? Because we weren't going outside our network. But a switch, as you will learn in the switching section, it floods out all, the ARP floods out all the ports except the one that I learned the source MAC address on. So that's why I went up to the router, but the router says, hey, that's not me. And then that PC responded, hey, that's me. Here's my MAC address. And then the ping went back. So that's pretty cool. So we have connectivity. Now, if you really want to verify if that, was, hey, I'm not used to seeing, things like that. I'm used to seeing a ping. That's fine. You go to any PC and you go to the command prompt and you ping 192.168.1.3. I mean, not 3, I'm sorry, 2. And then you get your 4 replies. And then you have it. And you've pinged across. We've created a very simple topology. All right, now the last thing that we're going to do is, because we did put a DNS server address, we're actually going to add a server, and we'll do a little configuration in the server, turn it into a web server, all right, and change some things. So you can take a look at the configuration tab of the server. I'll see you in that one.